Okay, guys, welcome back. So I did a little offshore grinding. I didn't go into any further. I just pretty much farmed the crypt and the mausoleum and basically farmed Blood Raven. So we got a few new things. I was gambling at Geeds, but I wasn't really getting anything. I got this. I was just like, meh. We got this charm we managed to get a random drop from. Let's see, we got this new armor. I think that's about it for that. And then, apologize, allergies. We got our first set piece. I didn't want to identify without you guys seeing it, so this is actually a part of a 3-set piece. I think it's like a pair of boots and a pair of gloves, but it's like one of the beginner set pieces you get. And we got a jewel. Got a couple of jewels, actually. I was saving this shield, but we might just end up using this, so see what we get. I already know what this is, so yeah. 10 to strength and the damage reduced by 2. You know, picker's choice, I guess. It's better than this little dinky thing, so that can just go. Let's see what we get for our jewels here. Requirements. Enhanced defense. Or enhanced damage. Could just probably just stick that in there, I guess. The minus requirements thing, it basically reduces any requirements you need to wear a certain piece of armor or use a certain type of weapon. So for instance, say how this has 15 strength, and for instance something like the sorceress who only has 10 strength, if you were to actually put this into that armor, it would reduce it down to like 12 strength needed instead of 15. So it does go by a certain percentage. God, I hate allergies. So, oh hello. Goodbye. Yeah, so just randomly just farming random enemies. Up here there's a little cave. Has a unique boss in there. Ones that always say there is a Cold Crow. Her and her little minions have the abilities to actually freeze you every time they hit you with an arrow, which is really goddamn annoying. And she can be very tricky too, because they just pummel you with crits, and while you're frozen at the same time, you know, it's hard to actually try to run away. Hope you guys, this Thursday's going good. This is a prequel. This is a pre-recorded too, because I am working today, but not until like closing time anyway. So you guys will see this video a little later tonight. And one of the things I actually forgot to mention, and we got a couple of rejuvenation potions and stuff like that too. This is actually how some of the pros actually build their hybrid Amazons, especially if they're doing the same build that I'm doing. They don't put any points in their dodge, evade, or where is it? Yeah, dodge, avoid, or evade, because it takes that couple seconds to have your character just dodge every time she's getting attacked, to where you can just continuously fire off rounds. So that's the reason why they put so many points in dexterity, because of the block rate. Instead, you can just block it instead of actually having 2 action animations going on where you're blocking and dodging at the same time, so you're wasting like a good 2 or 3 seconds. That's what speedrunners usually do it for too. But that's the way I've always built my Amazons. They just tend to seem to last a little longer, especially in hell difficulty if you plan to farm the pit and stuff like that. Any character in Diablo can actually be a magic farm type character, but Sorceress is the better one if you want ruins, higher level ruins than Barbarian, because he has item find. He's actually a pretty decent magic finder too, because item find does his skill does help you increase your magic find too, and you get like 70 something points or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is, but you get a decent amount to add on top of your magic find. So, I mean, people have been rocking around with Barbarians that have like 800 to 1,000 magic find, which is completely absurd because you only need about 500. But, do you? You know, it even says on the site there's like a minimum between like 450 to 500 at most. Anything like that is just pretty much overkill. Oh, and when I noticed too the beginning of the thing with my little picture versus the Diablo walkthrough, I realized I accidentally kept it on part 1 there, so I'll have to make sure I change that to part 3. I just realized when I uploaded the video it said part 1 when it was already a part 2. So I gotta remember to edit that. So basically our objective right now, we're going to try to rescue Decker Cain. I'm going to try this in like 20-25 minutes, so there might be a little grinding, so we'll have to locate the stones first. That's a trap. Locate the stones, get the waypoint, and because you go from the stony fields to the underground passage to dark wood, and then you got to travel back to stony field to the cain stones. So it's kind of a whole process just to get Decker Cain out of Tristram. So we won't get it into one video, but we'll see how far we can get. Because once I get to Black Marsh, where the Forgotten Tower is, where there's the mini boss there, that's where pretty much I'm just going to just start farming on this Amazon for ruins. I was playing my Amazon on Battle.net. I managed to get a Tal ETH one, which is actually 2 really good beginner ruins. I mean, one's required for level 15, one's required for level 17. But if you put them in 2 solid armor, they actually give you some decent stats, and they give you high enough poison resistance. So once you go against Sandariel, and her main specialty is poison, and she hits like a Mack truck. She will literally just like one hit from her little poison nova will like almost instantly knock out all your health, no matter how much poison resistance you have. So she can be very tricky. But I'll definitely explain the best way to end up killing her too in the end. So we're getting gems like crazy. Oh, there's the cain stones. Okay, remember the Fallens in the Bloodmoor where he kept saying Rakunishu? Well, there's a little blue dude up here. Where the hell is he at? Not these guys. I'll explain about them in a minute. He's extra blue. Him. That's Rakunishu. He's lightning enchanted, and he's the main mini-boss that protects the cain stones. So he's one who will always be there. And he's really goddamn annoying because he'll hit you with his little lightning enchanted hit and then run away. And he can be a very annoying boss to go against. I call him Blueberry because he's just so blue. What bow do you have? A crappy little bow.
I can't carry
Of course you can't carry anymore. Oh. Scepters are really good too because they tend to offer a lot of gold. I mean, even a decent scepter you can get like 1,500 gold at most. Like most in different acts, you can only sell up to a certain amount of gold. So the highest you can sell for an item is 35,000, but in the row camp, you can only sell an item up to 5,000. It goes up by 5,000 each time. So there's a limit to how much you can actually sell an item for. I'm not gonna bother with that. It's not worth it. Yeah, see 4,700 right there. And we're gonna have 9,300 bucks. Oh, and skulls. Skulls allow you to have life steal and mana steal if you put them in weapons, and you get mana and health regeneration if you put them into your armor, and attacker takes damage, which is basically thorns if you put in shields. So I don't know why I even kept that. And shout out, I didn't bother catching the guy's name because he didn't bother telling me. But shout out to the person who actually subbed to me. I was on Battle.net and I put sub to my channel, and someone just randomly came in. They're like, "What's your name? What's your channel name?" And he ended up subbing to my channel. So thanks there, good buddy, for subbing. So these are the Cairn stones. You need to get the Scroll of Influence, which is in the Dark Woods. And you'll take that to Akara, she'll decipher it. You come back to these stones, you put it in order, and these stones will open a red portal, which is a permanent portal in the game, which will take you to Tristram, so you can actually rescue Deckard Cain. So, and the only other red portals you'll ever find besides that one of Tristram is the Cow portal, and that's a whole different thing. Oh, and I want to say one other one is a boss in the later act, I think. There's several red portals you'll come across in this game. Some of them are permanent to leading to parts of the story. Some of them are actually permanent to leading to different parts of an area. So... hell is that goddamn waypoint? Camps like these are basically normal throughout the game, at least in Act 1. But sometimes you'll come across a camp like this size, and like this one over here, where it's 2 camps combined together. Sometimes you might even come across 3 camps. They're just filled with Fallens and Carvers, on top of, you know, maybe 2 or 3 extra mini bosses that may be around too. Carvers are the next level version of the Fallens. So those are the little blue guys over here. They're slightly a little more powerful than the red guys, but not by much. So. You don't have to really worry too much. Ah, yes. The Moldy Tomb. This will give you access to this quest right here, which is the Forgotten Tower.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried
43.
alive. And her castle,
47.
in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains. The Countess's fortune was believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
Yeah. And there's actually, the real Countess is actually based off of a real person too, which is actually hilarious, and not too many people know that. But the real person version of the Countess, and if you're squeamish, go ahead and skip ahead, is basically she would, lure female virgins and end up killing them and bathing in their blood, just so that she would remain to look younger. So, a little history of that. Still haven't. Oh, there it is. Alright, now we found the waypoint. We gotta find the underground passage, which should be up around here, I thought. Nope, might be down here. Yeah, there it is. Underground passage is basically just connects to one point to another point, and it usually consists of like 2 levels. So you have, how it says, underground passage level 1, and there's underground passage level 2, which is a little bonus area that has a golden chest. So, and it carries like maybe 2 or 3 mini bosses if you get lucky. But this is where the game starts to get a little more difficult in the beginning, because this is when you start coming across more heavy hitting archers, and you come across tainteds, where they have the ability to shoot lightning bolts at you. So it's gonna be kind of tricky. Oh, speaking of our first mini boss, Snotwing the Witch. That's hilarious. Skull cap. Oh, and rejuvenation potions will heal both your health and your mana. And if you combine 3 of them with a certain item you'll get in the next following act, they make full rejuvenation potions will heal you like instantly. They're great in hell difficulty. That's how resistance is looking. Decent, yes. Start a gem. Ooh, an emerald too. Nice. Now you can sell your gems if you want. I'd recommend keeping them. They may fill up your chest, but you can actually be able to convert them into higher level gems in the following act. So, but choice optional. Wells basically the same thing as rejuvenation potions. They'll heal both your health and your mana. You can drink from them twice, and over a certain period of time, they will refill back up. So, should end up getting this. What are we? 12, 2 levels. Yeah, I want to end up getting that because it'll give the bonus to the charge strike. Once we get that, that will be leveled up for quite a while, so we can start focusing on cold arrows. So, I wouldn't recommend leaving Act 1 until you're at least level 16 or 18. Anything lower than that, you're going to have a pretty difficult time in Act 2. Especially at the very, very first quest, which tends to hit you with a lot of elemental damage, so... The hell are you just... The hell out of here, son. And you can bring your mercenaries back too. You just have to talk to the person who you get your mercenaries from. They'll charge you a certain amount of gold depending on your level, and I'm pretty sure the level of your mercenary too. So the most you'll get charged is 50,000 in gold, which doesn't sound like a lot, is a lot. Especially if you're playing something like single player like I am, where gold is, you know, very needed. Just heard a jewel. Maybe I get something good. Let's see what we get here. 8 life. Not exactly good. 1. I'll save it. So I think what we'll do is try to get to the underground passage as quickly as possible, and it'll allow me to offshore grind in this area too. We won't proceed into the Black Marsh. I will end up grinding. No. We'll see how Darkwood goes, because Darkwood is the area we need to actually get the waypoint, but sometimes you might find the scroll before the waypoint. So we'll see how that goes. If we get the waypoint before the scroll, then I won't bother moving on past that. But if we get the scroll before the waypoint, then we'll snag the waypoint too, and it'll allow me access to grind in the Darkwood. Speaking of Darkwood, so. That's the case, then I won't proceed into the Black Marsh until the next video. So, Spike Fiends, basically just an upgraded version of Quill Rats. They are a pain in the ass in hell difficulty because they tend to shoot a little farther than archers, and because they, unlike archers, they usually won't run away. They'll go in big packs, and they get spectral hit in hell mode. Oh, like I was just talking about, and they'll shoot like. You'll have like 5, maybe 6 quills hitting you at the same time, and will almost instantly kill you if your resistances are not up. So be careful. And instead of just like wandering in the middle of the map, always outline your map first, because it tends to make things a lot easier, and then go in. You know, you'll deal with lesser enemies on the side. Sometimes you might come across a mini boss, maybe, but most of them tend to be kept right in the middle. So. Looks like we got that forest camp that's down here. Yep. Big forest camps like this can hold up to maybe 30 to 40 enemies just in one area, so you get quite a bit of experience. They tend to be just the little minion guys, so they don't offer too much of experience, but I mean, you know. Oh, speaking of a mini boss, that was your. Oh, there you are. I was saying your lightning enchanted, but you were just had spectral hit. Fire resistance, I'm not gonna really worry about too much. We got a charm though, I'll take that. Ah, guess we're getting the scroll first, then the waypoint. Alright, cool. Allows me access to grind here then. Alright, I'm done. No. Switch to my... Ah, goddammit. Have that set of my other thing. You're not killing my goddamn mercenary. I have my middle button switched between my weapons, but on this one I have it as my map, so... Whoops. I'll have to switch that. But that was a Tree Fist. He's one of the main enemies who will always be there, and he guards the Scroll of Influence, which is what you need to bring to Akara. So he can be kind of tricky at a lower level. Alright, you're just not wanting to die. Alright, let's find that waypoint. We'll give Akara the scroll, so you get your little dialogue, and then we'll end the video there. Easy enough.
Oh, very good. I have translated the runes on this scroll. You must find the cairn stones and touch them in the order that I have written.
And it's as simple as that. So you basically go back to the stony field, find the cairn stones, put them in the order. It opens a red permanent portal, which leads you to Tristram. You'll see a familiar face, especially if you've played Diablo 1. And it's actually a really good area to grind at a lower level. So, but we'll be doing that in the next video. What I'll probably end up doing is just doing pre-recorded videos before I go to work, and then I upload them later tonight. If it's not too late, you know, if it is, then you'll see them on the next following day. So, just giving you guys that heads up. Hope you guys are still enjoying the walkthrough, and catch you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.